BC! Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Vinyl find... I've no idea. Are we on 80? I think we might be on 80. Fire up, 80. Well, that's a milestone. Should probably check that. Look at this with the power of the internet. Yeah, I guess 80 is about right. I mean, I've got about 800 records in the collection. If I bought 10 every... show 10 records every video, I guess that sort of equals out, I suppose. Although in saying that, I did have records before I started making videos. Anyway, this is 75. So there we go. What a great start to the video. Hope you're doing well. It's the weekend. Finally. Let's turn this down a little bit. I noticed in my last video the audio was way too loud. Yeah, so first up it's New Zealand Music Month. It may seem a bit weird to you guys outside of New Zealand that we have a whole month dedicated to supporting New Zealand music. It's probably more because I guess the New Zealand music community is so small, and a lot of artists are completely independent, and to get stuff pressed they have to send them overseas. And I guess the major, you know, any major artist here signed to overseas labels, and they're mainly focused on pop or rock, or I don't know, there's not enough people here, not enough support to really push behind independent musicians, I guess. So New Zealand Music Month is a really good chance to, I suppose, support local artists and go out and see some gigs. And yeah, anyway, I'm on my Instagram channel site, app, feed. I'll place a link down below, and I'm just going to be showing a favourite New Zealand record every day for the whole month. So there we go. Anyway, here we are. I've got 10 records to show. I've been dying to get these off my shelf and into the YouTube world, because these have been dating back a long time, and all I've got left now is the stuff I picked up in Melbourne a few weeks ago and the stuff from Record Store Day. So, as you know, it's kind of more exciting to be talking about the new stuff you picked up and show off. Whereas the stuff that you've had for like 6 months and you've played, it doesn't have that exciting edge to talk about it, because do you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, we'll get started. The first one here is by a band called Gate. A Republic of Sadness is the name of this album. You can see it there. This came out in 2010 on Bada Bing. I'm a big fan of Gate. Gate is Michael Morley of the Dead Sea, who normally sort of plays gnarly, distorted, noisy guitars. He's traded that all in and got some synthesizers and electronic effects, and it's a really weird, dark trip. It sounds like, it's very hard to describe. It's sort of like, imagine a scene in a movie where a character takes too many drugs and everything goes really weird and dark and scary. It's like that. It's like a trip into darkness. It's really cool, really twisted, really weird. The thing that throws me off is the first track, Forever. As you probably heard in the beginning of the video, it has like crackly vinyl effects put onto it. So when I first got it, I thought the record was really noisy. I was kind of annoyed, and then I realised that it's actually on the track and it's meant to sound like that. But it still gets in my brain. I feel like I need to clean it. And that just messes with your mind straight away. But yeah, this is a great album. I've been wanting it for a long time, so I picked this up cheaply. You can get it available online at a pretty decent price. A Republic of Sadness 2010. Yeah, I'm quite a big fan of Gate, actually. I've got 2 of their other records. This one came out as a last year, the year before. This is like the prequel to this, I think. They're definitely closely linked, for sure. I talked about this in a video maybe a couple of years ago. I can recommend them both. This is also a Gate record. It came out a long time ago and got reissued maybe 3 or 4 years ago. The G line. This is back to guitars and noisy, crunchy, experimental stuff. Really good. That's Gate. Okay, next up, a bit of a obvious record. This is Giant Steps by John Coltrane. Came out in 1960. This is his fifth studio album. Anyway, this is a really nice Japanese pressing. I guess when I heard John Coltrane, I first heard A Love Supreme, and then which connected with me. You know, it was the first John Coltrane album that connected with me and I could understand and appreciate. And then I was obviously reading some of the YouTube, Facebook pages or something, and someone was like, "Oh, is the one, it's amazing." So I went straight ahead to the wild free jazz stuff, and I sort of like stuck in that category with John Coltrane for ages. And then I sort of eventually ended up making my way back around to My Favorite Things and Olay and Giant Steps here. So I picked this up at a record fair in August of last year, so a long time ago now. I felt like, before I bought this, I felt like I didn't really know this album that well, and I wanted to really experience it for the first time when I picked it up on vinyl, knowing how great it was. Anyway, as soon as I put this on, I realised that I knew every track anyway, because I've heard them on stuff like Live at the Village Vanguard, Live at Birdland. You know, these songs are all over his other albums in different interpretations. I've got 3 live Coltrane albums, so I've heard all these songs in another shape or form or something different, so they're all kind of familiar. But yeah, this is an absolute classic record. This is a Japanese pressing. So it came out in 1960. I'm pretty sure this is a first Japanese pressing. Or would that be on the Plum label of Atlantic? I'm not quite sure. Let me know if you know. Actually, I don't really care. Don't let me know if you know. But either way, it's a really nice minty Japanese pressing. What was I saying before? I can't remember. Yes, so this is obviously, not really obviously, it is a giant step in his music. It's one of those records that really bridges the gap between his earlier stuff and his later stuff. Just the thing I noticed when listening to this is just the amount of notes that he plays. He just keeps this melody, but he just pumps on so many notes. Like it's not free, but he's pushing and pushing and pushing, and he just fills the space, but keeps everything flowing and moving and keeping your interest. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like rapid fire, but it's not aggressive. It's great. It's really cool. It's John Coltrane. It's Giant Steps. There you go. Okay, next up we got Charles Hayward, Survive the Gesture. So Charles Hayward is, I think he's the co-founding member of This Heat and the Camberwell Now. This is his first solo album from 1987, so that came out, this would be the year after the Camberwell Now Ghost Trade, which came out in 1986, I suppose. If this is 87, that would make sense. This is awesome. This is so cool. It's like halfway between the Camberwell Now and This Heat. It's got like you know how This Heat, their stuff isn't necessarily song structure based, like it just sort of moves between like soundscapes and textures and stuff, where the Camberwell Now they have more song based things. This is weird because they start off with songs and they just descend into like noisiness. Like it's perfectly in between those two bands. It's really cool. I picked up that Camberwell Now, the 2 EP thing. I've showed it before in a previous video, and it really ties in with this. It's really cool. In fact, this is probably better than that reissue. This is on Ink Records. It's an original UK press. I'm really happy to have this. Look at those labels. How cool are they? And here we go. Oh, sorry, that's probably the cooler one. Yeah, I guess it's like art rock, 80s art rock, a bit experimental. There's one track here that starts off as like a new wavy, almost new wavy, like a crooked new wave song, and it goes into this like Charles Hayward drum solo. I should say that he's the drummer. Geez, I hope that's correct. I'm pretty sure he's the drummer. from This Heat, and he's a drummer, and I'm pretty sure he's a drummer and the vocalist and just the general. Anyway, cut. I'll start again. Anyway, there's one track that starts off with like an indie new wave thing, and it goes into this extended. It's like a drum solo, but it's like the most robotic post-punk drum solo ever. Like it's just like I don't know. It's like a drum solo done by robots, but not in like a pitch in a perfect. It's like a robot is breaking down while trying to do a drum solo. I don't know. If that doesn't sell it to you, I don't know what will. Okay, next up. This record. Okay, so this is called Dark Motive Dance Hall, and it's by Roy Montgomery. Now, Roy Montgomery is a sort of legendary underground New Zealand musician. Worked with the Pin Group, worked with Daldemar, done a lot of ambient soundscapey stuff. He is probably most famous internationally for his work with Flying Saucer Attack, like the US heavy shoegaze band. He's either in the band or he produced their records or something. I should really look that up. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. This originally came out as a 4 LP set. And each one, this is where the hype stickers come in. Each one had a similar art with a different color. I'm not sure if you can even see that. And each one came with a description of what they sound like. Now, the one I picked up was meant to sound like the most extreme of the 4 LPs, exploring the new approaches to Montgomery's guitar sound, conjures unearthed, fuzzed out Jewel Division studio experiments. Which would be great, but they actually fucked up the colors. So, as you can see here, the red one is meant to be Dark Motive Dance Hall, but it's got a grey cover, and this one's Dark Motive Dance Hall. So this one, I don't know, this one to me sounds like, this is meant to be, this is just for a thing, offers sparse commentary on despair and hope, infused with a metaphysical divinity rivaling the climactic glories of Popo Vu and Slowdive. This is a transfigurative finale to Headquarters. What a bullshit, oh my god. Offers sparse commentary on despair and hope, infused with a metaphysical divinity rivaling the climactic glories of Popo Vu and Slowdive. This is a transfigurative finale to Headquarters. Anyway, is it good? I can't really get into Flying Saucer Attack as a band anyway. Like it sounds kind of like that. It's very heavy, grinding shoegaze. Like everything's just, it's like a wall of sound constantly in your ears. And then occasionally there's sort of, like you hear bits of riffs or like melodies in it, and that sort of gets you, and then it just sort of swerves back out. It's a really tough listen. But it's not tough. I don't know. It just all starts to sound the same, and there's no reference point in the music, and you get a bit lost in it in a sort of a boring way. I don't know. I wanted to like a lot more than I did. If you really like Flying Saucer Attack, it's probably your thing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about this record. I can't recommend it wholly. It's worth listening online, and to think it came as a 4 LP box set, I'm kind of glad that didn't buy all 4 pieces, you know. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, next up, this is a purely... It's not purely. This is a record I bought because I used to see this band all the time in my youth as a teen. This is a reissue of a band called the Mint Chicks. Crazy Yes, Dumb No. So this reissue came out, was it last year, 2016, and it originally came out in 2000 and, was it 12 or 11? Yeah, I guess it's like that indie post-punk revival thing that was cool around then. The Mint Chicks are, the core members are Ruben Nielsen and is it Corey? Cody Nielsen, and they went on to form Unknown Mortal Orchestra, who got really big. I think they moved to Portland and they got really big over there, and they're really massive in certain circles over in the US. I'm not a fan of them, but I really like this record. This is them a lot more noisier and punky, and yeah, this has got absolutely amazing artwork. It got reissued as a double 45, so everything sounds nice and punchy, and this artwork is just out of this world. I mean, isn't that incredible? And it's printed on this really nice luxury matte card. Look at that. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice, fun record. I don't know. It's kind of bratty, kind of young. You know, these guys are a bit like, it's like bratty, punky. Yeah. You can have a listen online. I just think this artwork is really cool. It's so ridiculous. Look at that. Anyway, yeah, the Mint Chicks. I don't know if a lot of you guys would dig them. Maybe I'm buying it because of my tie to seeing them, and they were one of the first like proper local bands that made it big, and they went overseas, and they, you know, like they were local. I could see them all the time, super cheap, and I guess that was my first interaction over here with a proper interesting, you know, band that I really enjoyed. So there we go. That was I was gonna do 10, but then I realised I was talking way too much, and I only got through 5, and we don't want this video to be too long. So that was 5. Thank you for watching. It's the weekend. Yeah, check out my Instagram at the bottom. And New Zealand record every day that I really enjoy. Yeah, that's it.